Hello everyone, so it's time to talk about books again, and this time it's going to be a TBR for the month of October, and it's very ambitious. If you haven't seen my wrap up, I'm going to pop it up on the screen. Basically, I decided to do a challenge that is just challenging myself to not buy and get any new books and read the books I already own, like wow. So I'm vlogging about that, so these videos are coming, so stay tuned for that. I have a lot of books because last month I managed to read like 15 books or something, and so I thought, you know what, I might as well be very ambitious this month and try to read a bajillion books. The first book that I actually already started reading, and I'm more than halfway through, is The Manual of the Warrior of Light by Paulo Coelho, and I am really enjoying this. It's just like an inspirational book about life and being a warrior of light. And actually with this book, I've been trying this thing, and that is to actually really pay attention and try to like absorb everything that the book is telling me, which I don't always do because I'm kind of used to flying through books and not paying much attention, which, like, of course, flying through like fantasy books is normal because like you're having fun and you keep on reading and you can't stop. But with like more deep books like this one, I just really want to try to pay attention to it and really process everything. And so I've been reading it slowly. I'm not reading it to finish reading it, I'm reading it to read it, which I need to do more of. So yeah. Next book that I have been avoiding for years is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I hate classics. School ruined them for me completely because I hate when I have to do things, and having to read certain books just made me hate them. But also I am kind of used to being bored with classics, and so I don't even remember why I actually got this book because I literally got it maybe like 5 years ago. But I think it's time to give this book a shot, especially the challenge that I'm doing, like not buying any new books, is basically like reading books I've had for ages that I haven't read, like for years, and this one I certainly have had for years. The next book that I've also been avoiding is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. This book is big and it has 650 pages, and basically if you don't know, it's the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series. And if you don't know this series, this book is basically like set during the time of the 5th book, so it just follows like a minor character from the series, and so like it's a part of the series but it's kind of separated. And basically I just didn't really love this character that the book is about. I didn't dislike him, but he just definitely wasn't one of my favorites or anything, and so I've just been like, am I gonna enjoy this book? I was kind of scared of being bored and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, I really love this series, and I don't think I'm gonna hate this book. I think I'm actually gonna quite enjoy it, but it's also, intimidating because it's so long, and I'm just like, yeah, but I'm going to give this book a shot. I am hoping to start reading it basically now. I want to read this book eventually, so I might as well do that now. And the next book is Kingdom of Ash, the last book in the series, which is even bigger. It has basically almost 1,000 pages, which I think I have never read a book that long. So I'm intimidated, and also I really care about these characters in this book that I've been scared, of what the hell is gonna happen to everyone. But then I kind of calmed down, but then a year passed and I still haven't read it, and I really loved reading the series last year when I was reading it, and so I think I should get to that. But again, I'm super intimidated by how long it is, and it's an end to a series that I really like, and it's just a lot. The next book, oh my god, I'm far from being done with this TBR, and I'm like looking at all of these books that are all just so fucking big, and I'm like, this book has 500 pages, and it is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I've had this book again for like 2 years. It is so pretty, and I think I'm gonna love it. The only thing I know is it's fantasy, and one girl I follow on Goodreads, she absolutely loved this, and for me it's like, if she loves something, I'm probably gonna love it, or yeah. So I think I'm really gonna love this, but because of how long it is, and just, I don't know, I've just been procrastinating on it for so long, and again, the theme is trying to get to the books, so hopefully I will. If I'm successful and read all of these, wow. So the rest of the books are either audiobooks or ebooks, so I cannot show them to you, unfortunately, but I'm gonna, of course, show them on the screen. The next book that I want to read this month is A Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. It is the second book that she wrote after The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I really loved The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. Like, it is one of my all-time favorite books. I am excited for this. I think I'm going to enjoy it, and I actually already started listening to the audiobook. It is the first fiction audiobook that I'm listening to, and it's not bad. The voice of one character is kind of weird, but I'm enjoying the book, and I think I'm gonna like it. I think it's gonna be maybe like 4 stars. I feel like it's gonna be a 4-star read. And then, well, it really is a theme of this video. So far, everything has been books that I'm procrastinating on. So the next one is The View from the Cheap Seats by Neil Gaiman, and I have this in a physical form, but I started reading it, I think maybe last year, and I read like 150 pages or something, and I really, really liked it. But the thing with the book is basically he talks about books, writing and reading them, and like specific books, and talking about like certain themes related to that. I love that. As a writer and a reader, it is, you know, it's fun to read it, but it's a lot of information, and so just reading it in the physical form, I was just kind of like, oh my god. So I just stopped reading it, but then I got into reading nonfiction in the audiobook form, and I found out that he's the one narrating it, and then I started listening to it, and I really like his voice. I feel like his voice is just perfect to listen to, and it's like the perfect storyteller voice, and so I am definitely planning on listening to some of his other books. I started listening to the audiobook, and I have made progress, and I think that's a better way for me to read the book. And it is not a book that I want to read all at once. I just kind of want to read it, listen to it in moments when I really feel like it, you know? It's not a book that I just want to listen to in a row without stopping. But I do want to make some progress with this book, at least. Even if I, don't finish listening to it this month, that's fine, but I would like to keep going with it because I do really enjoy it. It makes me want to write more, it makes me want to read more. So the next thing is, guess what? Another book that I've been procrastinating on, but I feel like this one I have been procrastinating on the most, in the sense that I started reading it and then stopped, and have been procrastinating on continuing reading it, and that is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. And I don't know if you know the story of Achilles, but it is not good. I'm a happy ending kind of girl, and I mean, as a writer, I definitely put my characters through a lot, but I just cannot handle tragic endings. I certainly cannot handle tragic endings and bad things happening to the characters that I love. Considering, I'm still traumatized by Infinity War, and it's been a year and a half. And I'm traumatized by Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, and, just a lot of things. So I cannot deal with my favorite characters dying, and I read a first half of the book, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I almost immediately cared about the characters. And so then I just stopped because I was not ready to keep going with the book. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of time has passed and I know how it ends, so I might as well fucking read it, because I think, I've been preparing myself for it for so long, and I've also put distance between me and the characters in the book, which is not the best thing ever, but I think that I can handle it. The next book is is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, and I'm also listening to this and I love this. I already started listening to it. As you can see, I have started reading a lot of things, but for the past like 2 weeks I have been struggling to finish anything, but it's actually pretty great. I mean, do I recommend it? I'm not sure, but like reading more books at the same time just really allows you to read the book that you're in the mood for. But at the same time, it's better not to overdo it, I think. But anyway, this book is just basically about like life and how to change your mindset to have a better life. I can already say it is one of my all-time favorite nonfiction books. And I'm like, I don't know, I've maybe listened to like 20% or something, but he uses the word fuck in like every sentence, and he has a great voice. He is the one narrating it again, and I feel like his voice goes so well with the vibe of the book, and the book is just super straightforward and honest and so fun, and I just fucking love it. And I absolutely recommend it. And the next book that I would like to listen to again this month is Everything is Fucked, also by Mark Manson, because again, I'm absolutely loving this, and I would love to read his second book, which focuses more on the world, our perception of the world, as opposed to like our own life. So it's basically, the world is fucked, but here's what's good about it, like here's what we can do, here's how we can feel better about the world and all that stuff. And like that is just completely up my alley, like sign me up. So I definitely want to listen to that very soon, probably right after finishing The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. So I'm excited. The next book is How I Resist, put together by Maureen Johnson, and this is again a nonfiction that I am listening to on audiobook, and it's a collection of essays basically about resistance and activism and all of that stuff. And it's a pretty short book. I think like in the audiobook form it has 3 hours, and I've already listened to like a pretty big chunk of it, and I really like it. It's just really inspiring, and I'm really feeling nonfiction. And it's funny because in this month there's basically fantasy and then nonfiction, which like it's so far from each other, but I kind of like that because like hell yeah. So ooh. The next book is another nonfiction that I'm also going to be listening to, and that is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi, and this is like an inspirational memoir kind of a book. It's about a doctor accepting the fact that he's dying, and I found this book I think like 2 years ago, and I've been really wanting to read it, and I really want to get to it because it's just, kind of about like accepting the fact that he's gonna die, but I think it's also like, being grateful to be alive and all that stuff, which is something that I just really like reading about, and so I'm excited and I would really like to get to it. And the last book I would like to get to is Circe by Madeline Miller, and this is the first book that I think she wrote before The Song of Achilles, and I also started reading it. Holy shit, I'm reading this on my Kindle, and it is good, but it is not completely a book that I'm used to reading, because the thing is, I feel like this one is kind of slower, and I feel like it's not boring. Like, I just want to say it's not boring, but it has that more of a vibe that's not like, it's not super action-packed, which I'm kind of more used to. And so this one is something that I'm not used to at all, but I would like to read it because I liked what I read when I started reading it, but I think I just really need to be in the right mood for it, and I think I might be soon, hopefully. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a miracle if I manage to read all the books, but then again, I have been reading so much that like maybe I'm capable of it. I don't know. But yeah, tell me what books you are planning to read this month, and give this video a thumbs up if you are excited for more book videos and if you liked this one. So that's gonna be it. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye.